Hello, my beautiful Gemini friends, and welcome to our September 2021 reading. This month in general, September, is really a time to take the pulse of where you are, where we all are, right? It's a season of equinox. It's also going to be your ruling planet of Mercury. It's going to be going through a pre-shadow phase most of this month and then begin its retrograde on September 27th in fellow air sign Libra. And a lot of outer planets are retrograde this month as well. And we're kind of coming to the end of a lot of those outer planet retrogrades, but this is a time to kind of get clear with yourself. And one of the messages that came through, we're going to be moving through Virgo season and then moving into Libra season. So there's a lot of energy moving through Virgo, including a new moon and the sun, and for a little bit Mars. All these energies moving through Virgo. And this is about your internal world, your intuitive world, your moonlit landscape inside. And then as energy moves into Libra and we start to work with a Mercury retrograde and we start to work with the sun moving through there and we hit the equinox, we're going to be activating your heart energy. And I find these energies to be some of the most intimate energies to work with in general, like in life. The moon energy, that fourth house energy, and the heart energy, these are really personal. And they're very much about being at home with yourself and allowing yourself to be who you are. And one of the messages that came up in thinking about this season of equinox, this season of retrograde, this season of reflection, this season of deep internal honesty and healing, because Virgo season, along with a full moon in Pisces, is a time that is about healing and is about finding healing and peace in our spiritual and daily practices. This is a wonderful time to not just pick on the thought patterns and the habits that we don't like about ourselves, right? Like we all have busy thoughts. We all have thoughts that maybe don't serve us the best and like to pop up. We all have our favorite negative thoughts or our funny little activity that we do that we know doesn't really serve us very well, but we do it anyway, right? That's, we all know about that. But what I want to focus on for Gemini this month is, what do you want to craft? What thoughts do you want to craft? What practices do you want to craft that do reflect that deep, intimate, internal self as well as your heart energy? So this is a month to get creative on this front. Get creative and very intentional. Knight of Pentacles. Speaking of intention, I feel like Knight of Pentacles is very much an energy of somebody who... It's a cautious energy, yes, but Knight of Pentacles also, rather than rushing around and being in action mode all the time and like feeling validation via action, takes time to look around and to really assess the landscape. And it is Virgo season, it is an earth sign season of perception, of observation, of paying attention. Lovers, there's the Gemini card. How fun. I love it. This is really good stuff. And to be honest, I think this month with the Virgo into Libran energy, this is quite supportive of Gemini energy. There's a lot of energy here that is going to be flowing with you and encouraging you to really get intentional and find empowerment. Eight of Swords. There's those old thoughts, those old patterns, right, that want to hold us and that feel very, very real and very predominant in life. And Queen of Pentacles. Okay. It's funny, I feel like we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, these earthy, reflective, meditative energies surrounding these two very air sign energies of the Lovers and the Eight of Swords, which is just the quick mind, the quick thoughts. And that's exactly it. I feel like, thoughts are so powerful, right? The way we're thinking about ourselves and talking to ourselves. It isn't just some concept that's like energetics. it actually anchors into our physical world. It actually anchors into the way that we feel in our bodies and in our relationships. And I think that's kind of what this is saying here. Like, there's so much power to really taking care and really crafting our thoughts, right? It's not just about deleting and getting rid of bad thoughts and being like, I wish I would just stop thinking that. It's about really taking all that Gemini creative energy and starting to craft. So let's go through these cards because, all right, like I said, Knight of Pentacles is the cautious knight in tarot. This guy doesn't want to make a move unless he kind of knows that things are going to work and that it's making sense. And of course, the shadow side of that would be never making any moves because is it ever the right time? Are the elements ever really fully in alignment? But what Knight of Pentacles brings as a message is take some time to just look around and assess during Virgo season. You know, this is, like I said, an intimate season for Geminis. This is a time to kind of do a whole body scan, a whole spirit scan, and just notice, you know, where maybe you're feeling a little heavy, a little worn out. Maybe you're getting swept up in the collective waves of like despair and overwhelm that have been coming up for the last couple of months. You know, just checking in all of those places and getting a lay of the land. What this is going to help you do is it's going to help you acknowledge the parts of yourself that need extra nourishment. And it's also going to help you see where you are so ready for new, exciting things. And that's the thing, right? Like Knight of Pentacles is right here next to the Lovers, your card, but also a card that is about deep connection, new adventures, and I think even more importantly, we like to focus on the romantic love part of this, which maybe some of you will be getting into deeper connections, deeper romantic involvements, but the Lovers for me is about divine flow, because the thing with this card is you see this angel with the sun. This is about connections and experiences that are where you feel that you are held by the universe, by the divine, where you feel that you are in the right place, that you aren't just trying to play a role, be who somebody needs you to be what you think you need to be, right? The thing with the Lovers is this is about all those pretenses falling away, there being no need to cover up or hide. And I think we can only get to this place when we're really purposely crafting. And that's the thing too, the Lovers is a very creative card. And even though it's just got the 2, it's like there's a three being situation going on here. It's the number 6. This is about creativity. This is about the genesis of some new thoughts and some new ideas as well. So these 2 cards are speaking to that crafting of your thoughts and your presence in this world, and not in a superficial way at all, right? Not to just perform, to show people something, but for yourself and therefore for deeper connections. And it does facilitate deeper connection when we do that. Now, we do have our little 8 of Swords here, our little friend. I love this card. You know me, I love my challenging tarot cards because these are the places where we are learning. These are the places where we are engaging with the nuance of life. I also find the 8 of Swords is one of those cards that shows up when we're about to have big breakthroughs, when we're about to understand things from a new perspective. And we may be feeling some resistance, some overwhelm. The old pattern thoughts may be kind of kicking and screaming their way, trying to protect you. The old patterns, the familiar things are going to want to hold you and keep you. And as we're growing, you know, if we are getting all this Gemini expansion, new connections, new love interests, new creative projects, new visions, starting to notice that there are some really substantial things happening on the ground, guess what? Old patterns are going to come in and say, excuse me, are you just going to leave me behind? And 8 of Swords, it's very important to remember that this is something to witness. It's not something that needs to be feared or avoided at all costs. It's a very natural part of growth and expansion. It's a part of the puzzle that really most people work with. And 8 of Swords is just a time to witness. Where are those thought patterns still holding you? Where are the old ways of seeing yourself holding you? and to write them down. That is what I do with this kind of thinking, because when you write it down and you read it back to yourself, you see it for what it is, and the illusion of its power over you really diminishes very quickly. And you can kind of separate yourself out from these things, because these thoughts are not who you are. They're not your core self. They're simply thoughts that have been repeated enough times that they feel pertinent to the situation. So, the Eight of Swords isn't really dominant in this reading, but the point is that as you're growing and as you're morphing, that energy does tend to come in trying to protect you, right? But we do have this Queen of Pentacles at the end. This is such a funny reading in some ways for Gemini, because there is this practicality element to it. And not to say that Geminis aren't practical, because I think you all have a very practical, business-minded side that's very good at just like getting the to-do list done. But this, like, also I think you have a very free-spirited energy that wants to just kind of flow with things, see what happens, relax into it, and not really necessarily be just like grounded and stable and routine. However, we've got this Queen of Pentacles here. And, you know, Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles, like I said, these are very meditative energies. They each are kind of sitting still, reflecting, right? And taking some time to look deep within and notice how they are engaging with their environment. The Knight of Pentacles is a little bit more focused on how he's going to take a move moving forward. And the Queen of Pentacles is focused on how to nourish and ground in the present, how to find peace and centeredness in this crazy thing called life. And she is maybe one of the most important energies to work with in life. Seriously, I really do believe that, because in so many ways, the Queen of Pentacles reminds me of like our inner mother, like the inner mother that we need, the inner mother that is going to say, hey, my love, let's go sit outside on the ground and meditate for a little bit. Let's drink that extra glass of water. Let's take some deep breaths. Let's remember we are safe here now. And I will show you what you are going to be doing next. I will show you how you're going to invest your energy. I will show you how to keep showing up in this physical life in ways that work for you. But we can't do that. We can't show you all those beautiful things till we just take some time to care for ourselves, for our physical being, for our soul within a physical being, right? Like we have to anchor into that so that I can show you all the beauty. And that's kind of the big message here, Gemini, as I'm looking through your cards. It's like you're going to have all these expansive, big, bold, beautiful ideas starting to burgeon out of you. I think especially as we get into Libra season this month, you're going to notice, you know, new ideas, new sparks of interest, new excitement are going to be popping up right and left. However, you don't try and skip the stuff that is about really getting firm in the way you speak to yourself and the crafting of those thoughts, in finding that sense of home and security in yourself. And, you know, this isn't new information. This is something I talk about a lot and plenty of people talk about a lot. However, the point being that this September is, like I said, it's a huge check-in month. And for many of us, even if you've been going through 2021 and it's been pretty good for you and things have been getting better and things have been moving and you feel like you know where you're at, check in with yourself, because you may find that there are parts of yourself that really need nourishment at this time and really need to get a little bit of attention and a little bit of crafting and tradition and ritual put in so that you can move forward. And you may find that you are just needing nurturing in certain aspects of your life so that you can expand into that lover's energy and into that expansive, fun, playful energy. So this is just a beautiful month for really getting back to basics, really getting a firm root system connection going so that you can use your beautiful air energy to expand out into the world again and be the beautiful you that you are. So I am wishing you all a beautiful equinox. I find this time of year to be very sensitive and tender, actually. The equinoxes tend to be a time of real shift in how we're seeing and viewing ourselves. As we enter the darker half of the year up here in the Northern Hemisphere, it is a time of deep reflection, and it can feel a little overwhelming at times, not for everybody, but for some of us. I'm feeling a little sensitive in general right now. Anyway, but this is a really wonderful time to take care of ourselves that much more and prepare for this next season and prepare for the last part of 2021. Energy is going to be changing a lot over the coming months, and in the new year, the North Node is no longer going to be in Gemini. So we've got about 4 months left of this North Node Gemini experience. And in some ways, I feel like the North Node, when it's in your sign, and I don't know why I'm going on a tangent about this right at this moment, but when it's in your sign, it's like a heavy homework time for that year and a half. And it's almost this release of pressure when the North Node moves on to the next sign. And you may be finding, actually, that in coming to the end of this Gemini North Node season of life, this last year, a little over a year, and into the end of this year, that you have been having to learn very quickly and very intensely, and that there will be kind of a breath of fresh air as we shift. So there's also that to be thinking about just in the bigger picture. I will be offering a lot of extra support as we move through this upcoming Mercury retrograde, as we move planets direct in October, as we start to prepare for these last months of 2021. I'm going to be offering so much support and personal reflection over on my Patreon, so I'd love to see you there. It's a great way to support me and for me to support you more. You can also find me on my website and my Instagram, and I would love it if you stuck around and liked and subscribed. It means a lot to me, my friends, and I will see you very soon in October for more Libra season, more magic, and October is going to be an interesting one, so I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. I love you, Gemini. I'll talk to you soon.